Hi, everybody. Good morning on this Memorial Day. Hi, Laura. Hi, Angel and Anna and Lauren and Janet and Mia and Jenny. Nice to have you guys on. Janet, were you on Deb Erickson this morning by chance?
No, I was not.
Okay. I'm locked out. I'm a platinum member and I'm totally locked out. So
Mm.
I've sent emails to them. I'm a little frustrated, but anyway, all in time. I'm sure it'll get corrected tomorrow because I
Mhm.
have my second call with her for the neuro coaching. So I'm hoping before we, honor. Well, I want to honor everybody, and this holiday, Memorial Day, amazing. We are where we are in this world today because of the people who fought for our country, and it's wherever you live. It's people who serve in the military. It's that's huge, and I know Mia did a beautiful post today of our dad. Um, he's a World War II veteran, and he never talked about it. I remember seeing pictures in a box. He had a box of pictures, and I forgot this memory until my brother Joel brought it up. Or about some, I would see these Polaroid pictures, like really small black and whites, and uh, of things you didn't need to see as a child. To be honest with you, so no wonder my dad probably didn't talk too much about it and probably did suffer post-traumatic stress. No one talked about it back then, but he was definitely a depressed man and a lovely man, but he was, went through all that. So he never talked. That's what I remember is that he wasn't a very good communicator with us kids in any way. So anyway, but I just, as he got older and he would start talking about, he was proud, right, Mia? He
Yeah,
got,
absolutely.
he
But
got,
he was the kind of dad that you'd call home to say, to talk, and he'd say, "Here's mom."
yeah,
He'd talk to you for like 2 seconds, and then he'd give mom the phone. But
I remember that. But as he got older, he liked sharing his stories about the military. Nothing graphic or anything, but just a little bit. We'd have to dig. He was in the Navy. He didn't fight, but I know he was in like Hong Kong and um, with low in the ships. I don't know.
he
Uh,
worked on the ships below.
yeah, but think about that now. World War II veteran. There aren't very many left in the world, and he died 4 years ago. And we went to Arlington about 3 years ago and buried his ashes. My mom next to him. I mean, they both are there. So that's kind of cool. And you can't do that anymore. They won't let spouses that are not in the military be buried there anymore. I just heard they've run out of room, right? So gosh, what an honor. So that's my memory. Anybody else want to share something before we get a little bit into a little LifeVantage stuff this morning? Does anybody have a memory or
I
anything?
was just going to say, Marisa, it sounds like the exact story of my father, except
Mm.
he was in Korea and never talked about it. And, literally after my father died, we found like the photo album, right? With all the photos. And it was just like hidden and buried behind in a closet. And yeah, and you could tell he had a lot of things happen in his life, things out even outside of the military, but yeah, it just sounds like a very familiar story.
Mhm.
Same kind of thing. So yeah, it's interesting he was also in the Navy. So
Bless our daddies and
yeah.
and the women.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who else's parents or family members have been in the military?
Not mine.
Almost all of mine. All of my uncles, all of my grandparents, one of my husbands.
Oh,
Wow.
your
I have a
first.
very noisy dog today, so I'm just gonna just listen today.
Actually,
Oh,
my husband was in the military. He never fought
I
though, but he was
didn't know
4 years in the Navy. He's actually got some very funny stories of the military, but someday for another day. But yeah.
That's
Lisa and I
good.
have
He
a
has some
nephew.
fun memories too.
He has some actually really funny stories that he tells about the military. So yeah, trying to get away with things, right? Breaking the rules.
oh wow.
Yeah, he's a rule breaker. So yeah.
The rebel.
That's funny. Anybody else? Who else is family members? Laura.
Yes, my husband was in the military, the Army, and really funny experience. We were in Hawaii. We lived in Hawaii, and he got
For
transferred
you.
to Lawton, Oklahoma. And I was the only wife that was able to go with him. 28 other men went, had never left Hawaii in their entire life. And so they all became family with us. And we had a tiny little apartment. And for Thanksgiving, all 28 came to this house.
Whoa.
And they brought all their Hawaiian food that their family had sent to them. So it was really, you realize how important family is. And when you don't have it there and you're in a whole new place and you've never left the island, it was quite a wonderful experience that I'll never forget.
Wow, that's a great story.
Mhm.
Gosh. And Mia and I have our step nephew, Aunt Vicky's son, Kendrick is in the Army. And
Grandson.
well, he's our nephew. He's not our
No,
grandson.
Vicky's grandson, not her
Oh,
son.
Vicky's grandson. Yeah, yeah. And he's a sweetheart, and he needed direction in his life. So that's where he is right now. I don't know what the future will be, but God bless him. So it can be a really good thing for people. I'm going to mute whoever that is joining us, but I'd love to see that. Oh, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Good to see you. Okay, so hey, Jackie, do you have a military story you want to share? We were just kind of sharing military stories, then I'll get into some LifeVantage. This will be a brief call.
No, unfortunately, my family, my grandfather, I believe, my father-in-law fought in World War One.
Wow.
No, World War Two. Sorry, he wasn't that old. Yeah, so my mother-in-law and him, and the only really story that I have, it was kind of not fun, but fun. But my father-in-law had his army jacket from World War II. And when the towers came down in 2001,
Yeah.
my older son, when they decided to do what is it called? They had a show at the end, towards the end of school. We put together a talent show.
Mm-hmm.
And so they wound up getting his army jacket. And it was amazing how my kid, who was 11 years old, fit into my father-in-law's army jacket. And we wound up finding old army pants, ordering online, and a hat, so that we had a whole tribute to first responders, and all the kids were dressed in different kind of costumes, and that was his. So he never really talked about it. He had the dog tags, but like what you guys were saying, I think that once you see what you see, you can't unsee it, and it kind of sticks with you and haunts you the rest of your life. And it's something that, unless you're there, you really don't want to share with your family. It's kind of the same thing in certain avenues. I think in the medical field, there are certain things that it just goes beyond sharing that you can ever get over. So, other than that, I just appreciate all those who fought. Howard had a lot of classmates actually who were engineers who actually went into enlisted themselves, and we're going to be getting on the phone with them a little bit later, so it'll be fun. So
yeah, that's a great story. You that reminded me of a memory when my dad gave me as an adult here living in Arizona. I never even saw this. He gave me a black wool jacket, like a cropped jacket, and the back of it was from the Navy, and the back of it was this gorgeous dragon, like yellow dragon. And it was all on the back side, and I put it on, and it fit me. I'm like, how in the world did this fit my dad? He had to have been like a runt. And I mean, is even kids today, there's no way my son, who's 18, could put on a jacket like that and it fit him. like maybe one
People were
arm.
smaller. People were smaller.
And so, right? So anyway, what happened is when Scott and I got engaged, I sold my house in the Northwest Valley. He was in the Southeast Valley in Ahwatukee. And we were moving into his house before we got married, like 2 months. And so Scott puts all my stuff in the back of his truck, my clothes. I had things in wardrobe boxes. And he gets to his house in Ahwatukee and he noticed there's a bunch of boxes missing out of the truck.
No.
And he goes back on the freeway on the I-10 and he sees it on the other side of the freeway, all this stuff all over the place. And he goes and he gets out, he turns around, he gets on the side of the road and it's like risking his life. I have no idea any of this is going on. And he managed to salvage some of my clothes, barely any of it. And I didn't realize that was one of the things gone.
Oh, Marisa, I had no idea about this. Wow.
Yeah. So that made me so sad. I just have a vivid picture of that now, that jacket. I'd be wearing it today. It was so cool.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, pretty cool.
That's
Anyway,
amazing. I have on fatigues. I don't know if anybody can see.
oh, cute.
They have little piece sequins on them, so they're.
Oh, there you go.
You're blingy and you got a sweater on and
It's
wow.
cold here. It's cold.
I was doing yoga in my back patio this morning at 6 a.m.
No, it's cold. I've got a shirt on underneath. I've got my UGG slippers on.
Oh my gosh, crazy. Okay, guys, so listen, there's a few things happening this week. Today is the last day of the auto ship, so where are your numbers? Are you tracking where you were from last month? Should be always doing that. The 24th through the night before, find out what your numbers are so you can compare it. And then when you look back month to month, it's really great. The app is good, but it only shows you kind of where you were this time last month. It doesn't always track all of that. So just for your own mentality, and then your watch list in your back office, like putting people in your watch list and keeping an eye on them, making sure they qualify for commissions. So really what I would say this week is look in your back office who, definitely your direct enrollments, making sure, and pretty much everybody should be, but make sure they've got the qualifying volume to get paid commissions. Because if they're getting a customer or a distributor, they're not going to get paid. And then people who are close, you guys, 2,000 away from ranking to Pro 4 is definitely doable. 4,000 away. I mean, a lot of people when they're getting their volume start getting up there, even 10,000 can happen for people to rank from Pro 7 to Pro 8. That's like, yes, you just have to hunker down and who's on the fence, who are the people that are in your pipeline that you can just be reaching out to. We've got, that Mother's Day special is till the end of this month. Our skincare is amazing. I would be adding people and adding content, please, to Vitality Living Facebook page. Michelle she busts her butt on that, and she's basically the main one that contributes to that page. I'm not great about it either. I need to be better about it. So just if there's a story you have, a customer you have that's got a story, please just have them submit it. A Pro 5 or above will be able to approve it. And please let your new distributors know that when they add people, this is there's a real missing communication link here. When new people get on board, there's so much to learn, right? We've got I'll talk about the launch guide in a minute, but make sure they know when they add somebody into that page to let them know, or let the Pro 5 or above know, so that they can go in that page and approve them. Otherwise, they just stick in a holding tank, and then this new distributor that has somebody they think is in Vitality Living, they're not. And so, you don't want them to miss out on that. Vitality Living is huge, you guys. It's a huge third-party validation. It's our customer page for the post teams. And I just got a new customer who was a customer of mine when I first started LifeVantage, that I've known since 7th grade, Mary Ulmer Jones, who gave me a lot of, like we clashed a lot growing up, but I am the woman I am today, I have to say, probably because of some of the things that happened that I had to push through. We're very much alike. And she's a very accomplished woman in Atlanta. She's an attorney. Anyway, she's having some health issues and reached out to me last week I never knew she watched me on Facebook, you guys, because she never comments on anything. And all of a sudden I get this text saying, I've got to do something about my inflammation. I want to try your supplements. So then I realized she's not educated. So I sent her Dr. Melody Rodarte's webinar. I took it off my plate. Here you go. Watch this. Before you just think about Protandim Nerve 2, watch this whole thing. She ordered the Trisynergizer on her own. Now, after talking to her, finding out her son has ADD, finding out some other things about her, I went to Vitality Living last night and I tagged her on Boom, Boom, Boom. She's liked everything that I've tagged her on. So it's just a really beautiful way to funnel people, to educate them. I can't tell you enough how important that is. All right. We also have some meetings this week. We have Dr. Sveta Silverman tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific and Sean Poe. So that's really exciting. Off the top of my head, I don't know what else is going in the queue. I know I know that Angel and Lisa Thursday are doing a lunch and learn. Angel, what time is that? And I can't wait for that. Is that noon Pacific?
Noon. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So yes.
Don and I are doing one Friday night, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific.
7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Friday. That's awesome, Mia. And these are all on the Pose Zoom. My recommendation is, if you are Pro 4 or above, you go in there and make sure you know the username and password. Put in the date ASAP. Even if you don't know who's presenting with you, just put your name in it for that time slot. Because Maria goes in there, and we can tell Maria all day long, but she is bombarded with everything. She's not going to remember. It's got to be there so that she can see it, and then she knows who's doing what, so she can put it out when they put out the whole list for everybody. But yes, Isa created a beautiful shareable for Angel and Lisa that she's been using a lot. I'd like to have one like that for Sveta and Sean Poe. I know there's another shareable out there as a free range human. That may speak to some of you guys. It doesn't speak to me. So I want to keep it a little more professional, but I think it's funny. And some people that'll resonate with them.
Don created one last night for us on Canva, and it's a little bit different. I mean, it's similar, but it's just a little bit different. So
this is what I love. For those of you that are good at doing this, do it, because it helps. Everybody's so busy. And, what I'm trying to do is get my team that I've enrolled to do these with their team. Like I started with Isa, right? And so Isa and I were doing Monday nights at 6, but because it wasn't on there, the Maria or Sean and Sveta did it. And that's fine. Sean didn't know. He's so busy. So we kind of lost that for this week, but next week, Isa will already have it on there. And whoever it is, it could be Isa, it could be Angel and Lisa, it could be, whoever, Barb, people like Barb, your daughter is on flipping fire. I want to see her presenting ASAP, so that's what I was trying to do. And really with all my leaders, it's really important that we do that so that you can develop your teams and get your teams presenting. That is what's going to create momentum. Jackie and Kathy, I'd love to be able to do that. Jenny Bacon's been doing them. Oh my gosh, she's awesome. Angel's awesome. Everybody. And Anna and Lauren, you guys, all of you all are capable of doing this. Every one of you on this call. So if it is your passion, you want to do this, then please reach out. This is why we all have to start somewhere, and you don't have to be good. You don't have to be good to get started. People resonate with that. They love it. They're like seeing you up there doing it. They're going, oh my God, she's doing it. I can do it. And that's what gets you to feel the energy in you so you know you can do this, right? Haven't you noticed a shift, Angel, even with just doing it? And Jenny, I know Isa has.
Oh goodness, yes. Not only that, but my team is stepping up too, and we're doing practice, starting practices tomorrow, but then also going to start practicing presenting as a team for just our team to really get comfortable before moving them up to the corporate one. So yeah, absolutely.
I just love that. So I just see so much growth going on here. Also, Sean Johnson reached out to me yesterday. She's been trying to relaunch herself. We did a great event on Facebook. She wants to do it again this Thursday night at 6 p.m. So we're going to do that at 6 p.m. Pacific. And she's going to create the event. I've asked her to create it because I can't do everything. And so I learned how to do it last week. And so now, and she was on the Zoom with us with Tanya Sheldon. And so now we know how to do that. I think there's some of you on this call. Isa probably knows how to do it. I don't know if anybody else does, but if you do, I know Jackie does. Jackie's been doing all kinds of really great things. And so the nice thing is the event you create on Facebook, you start funneling it, you have a date of the event, like on the calendar, and then you end the event maybe 2 days later. We did a Thursday night at 6 p.m. event, and we let it run until Saturday night, 10 p.m. so that people couldn't get on it at the time. They had these other times. In the meantime, we put the video, that oxidative stress free radical video that this Pro 7 group couple created, and some of you bought those shareables for like 30 some dollars. Anyway, we have that as the cover. And then we have the event, and then we just piped in different things without saying what we are, who we are. We did curiosity posts, gut health, brain health, different things like that, things that shareables out there. So we had a few things. She had several people on. Some of them were distributors, but she's got 2 people that are very interested in joining her right now, just from that event. And she really enjoyed doing it. I think it's a nice way, you guys, for us to, and this is what happens sometimes with Zoom. So it was a Zoom, here's the Zoom link, and I put the Zoom link in there. Well, Zoom locked up to Facebook, So we just went ahead and made a quick post in the page, said technology is, screwing up right now, and here's the Zoom link, jump on the Zoom link. So we started a little bit late, but not very much late, 5-7 minutes, something like that. So those 2 people that were interested got on our Zoom, and then we had this really wonderful, intimate connection with people, and we shared the corporate PowerPoint, and it was great. And then we had opportunity to talk. I stopped the recording after the presentation so that wouldn't be in the event. So then what I did is I downloaded from iCloud, I had recorded, make sure you record your Zooms. And then I downloaded it to my desktop, uploaded it to that event page, and there it was until Saturday night at 10 p.m. So it's just really a nice way to also get people are on Facebook anyway. They're not always interested in clicking on a Zoom link. So it's really, I think, you guys, it's a double whammy. And I'm late to the party on this, but not really, because we're all learning, right? Social media is just all there. So that's what I would recommend. Also, the launch guide. I'm going to be on a Beautiful Leaders call at 10 o'clock this morning with the pros. They're Pro 5s and up. I can't wait for all of you all to be Pro 5s on this call because it's going to happen. And we're going to go through that 2-page launch guide that's already out, but just kind of the best ways to share it with people. My personal feeling is the calendar, that the little slot for the calendars, make those the main calls that are Monday, the Monday morning motivational call with Carrie and Stu, the Thursday night opportunity call at 6:30.
Hey, Marisa, can I share with what I know about that already? What I've been doing, because I bought that a while ago. Those slots on when you give the sponsor guide, did you get the sponsor guide? Or did you just get the launch guide?
No, we're just getting the launch guide right now. And that's what's available to everybody right now. They're
Okay.
changing, Jackie, they're going to be changing some of the stuff that you have. It's not all finalized. So we're just going with what is now final. There was a launch guide out there that was not final. So the email that you received last week in your emails from LifeVantage, that's the final one. But I also posted it in Team Inspired Change Telegram and Facebook. There are other components coming out for that they're going to roll out in October. So just the launch guide, the 2-page launch guide, just it's a simple way to get someone started right away. Keep it simple. And, and Jackie brings up a really good point. People get a little haul, right? Until they get to be about Pro 3, right? There's certain things that they just, you want to funnel them into the team. You want to onboard somebody correctly. You want to introduce them to your upline. If there's not a community connection, that person is going to fizzle out of your business. I promise you. So if you're enrolling people and you're not introducing them to the upline, you're going to see things twiddle down. They might be excited right away, but then they don't feel connected.
Or they may also say, I'm not quite ready to plug into the business, even though they joined a distributorship, just
right.
My time.
Right. And I get that. So it's really understanding where they are. So, Jackie and I had on board with a new person last week. And she, it was finding out her why. She wants to be Pro 7 like ASAP. She's 62, right, Jackie? Do you want to talk about any of that? So we just broke down, what are you willing to do? Like, you want to be Pro 7? That's awesome. How much but I'm just worried about the time I can commit. I said, well, why? She has 11 kids.
Well, she's committing 3 hours a day. She did say she's going to commit 3 hours a day. So, which is realistic. But the problem is, and I'm going to just share this, what I'm finding with a lot of new people is they're finding that they have to study too much. And especially that woman in particular, I got a very long dissertation from her this morning about lots of different things. And I think we really have to impress upon people that they earn and learn at the same time, and to stop studying. Because that's what's going to hold her back, and she's not going to be able to achieve her goals. And that's what I keep telling her. If you want to move, you want to move, it's very easy. Invite, tool, team. Invite, tool, team. Rinse, wash, repeat. So, that's kind of what I'm trying to get people to understand.
Keeping it simple.
Huh?
Keeping it simple. It's hard, but it's easy. Just you don't need to know about it. And that's where you have to just say third-party validation, guys. Do your third-party validation. You don't have to know anything. You just learn, you listen, learn, write notes, zip the lip, write notes. That's all I did. And I used to have Carrie Dickey's script right in front of my face when I'd be on the phone. And I would just say it conversationally, but I had all the points there, but then I would then turn it over and get somebody on third-party validation, never asking for permission. Well, yes, I did in the beginning. I did. Absolutely, I did, because I was bad. But I then learned not to do that. I learned to say, hang on just a second. That's a great question. I'm going to get Mia on the phone right now. And then I just do it. I put them on hold. I say, hey, hang on just a second. I'm gonna get that answer for you. And then I go, hey, Barb, I got Mia on the phone right now. Mia is blah, 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 blah. I edify, or actually, Barb, I edify first, the prospect. Edify the prospect to the advisor, and then the advisor quickly to the prospect. And I just listen, I'm new. I'm just learning this stuff. You brought up a great question. I don't have the answer. You might even know the answer. I don't have the answer, or I'm learning. I want to hear what she has to say. I think I know the answer, but I just want to learn what she has to say. And that is being truthful. And that is also taking your business in your hands. If you owned a bricks and mortar and someone asked you a question and your business partner was in the office, in the back office, and you didn't know the answer, or you knew the answer, but you felt like you needed some help, you would go get that person and bring them. You wouldn't even think twice about it. That's what you got to have inside of you. That's what's going to come out. And the more you do it, the better it is. So cool.
The other thing I wanted to say to you, Marisa, with the calendars, I have to look at what the launch guide looks like. I just know what I've been launching with. So the calendar, what I was told the calendar was used for also was for you to schedule for the first 7 to 10 days a daily meeting with the new person, that every day you're going to check in with them at a specific time. So when I launch someone, I print a launch calendar out as well as them. So I'm keeping track of what time and I'm writing everything down. I'm writing all their answers down on my copy so that I know. So I don't know if that's helpful or not. So I will look at that. I will pull that up.
Okay, well, I'm sharing the screen. This is the launch guide now. I'm going to be going over this with the post. So, but this is, that's a good idea, a really good idea. So it's just basic stuff, you guys. Support team, who your support team is, just a couple of people, right? This is just keeping it simple. The other stuff can come later. And just letting them know we have a Sunday night training call. We have the Monday morning motivational call. We have the Thursday night. And we have other things in between, but I wouldn't put them on this thing. Keep that separate. And then, why, finding out their why. Why are they joining LifeVantage? Here's their referral site. Basically, here's we want to help you find out where they are. Here's how you can earn up to $700 in Pay Center bonuses. Here's just a little bit, get familiar with your customers and what we do, the 20%. So I won't need to go through all of this right now, but I love.
But I will tell you, after launching someone with this, I will, if you want my tips, I'll be happy to share some, because with new people, they're not necessarily making connections. So I would go through this very thoroughly with them and try to make the connections. I'm learning. I've been living and learning and launching with this for the last month. And I'm seeing the little bit of, and I think it's just, there's so much coming at them that things aren't getting connected. So I would really focus on really going through this and making sure that they're very clear. Because I have someone who, it was very clear, I thought, what her website was. And yesterday I got a text from her about her website. So just make sure that they're writing things down. If you're doing it through Zoom and you're not with them, that, because years ago we used to launch in person a lot, especially for those of us who are in the Phoenix area, we would get together. And I remember Kathy writing everything down for me or telling me, write this down or whatever. So I think, sometimes we take it for granted. So, and the whole purpose of the 25 names, that whole section is for you to start with them at least for the first 5, and every single day through the first 10 days to go through and get them through those 25 people. So that's what
wonderful. That's the goal. Wouldn't that be great to do that?
So that's what I'm trying to do. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thanks, Jackie. That's awesome. Are you getting people to do?
It's definitely been challenging. Like I said, a lot of them are trying to learn and study, and it's kind of breaking that habit because they feel like they need to know more before they can open their mouth. And so just making sure that they understand they don't need to know more. And that's what I'm struggling with a couple of people right now. So.
I got to run, Marisa.
Okay.
Yes, Kathy. Thanks,
Okay.
Kathy.
Okay. Thanks, Jackie.
Karen Lolly, I love your hat. Look at that. Was that your dad's?
Yes, say U.S. Navy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's small for my pea head.
Everything's small for those guys back then.
You missed the beginning of this, but Marisa had a jacket that was dad's, and it just fit her.
Right. My sister, we wore those pants. They're too small
Bye,
for
guys.
me now.
Bye.
Okay.
All right. On a lighter note, sorry. I'm listening.
Anything else business-wise, guys, before we wrap it up? Anna, you look beautiful. Karen, you look beautiful.
Happy Memorial Day. Remember all the people that gave you
Memorial Day.
freedom to do this.
Watch the recording of this. Karen, you were late, but I mean, not late, but whatever. Watch the recording of this because it was really good. People shared things about.
Hey, and Marisa.
Yes.
Marisa, I have a launch at my house with my new distributors tomorrow around lunchtime with Roxy's daughter. So I was hoping I could maybe get you just to help get them excited. And
At noon?
I don't know the exact time. They're going to come over and anyway, they're coming from New Mexico. So I'm making them lunch while their kids play. We're going to sit down and just kind of pow together with Roxy and her.
I should be able to help you out.
Okay, it could be 11, noon. It's hard to say exactly what time. They have 3 triplets and two of them have cerebral palsy, but she's a PA and she's very interested and understands a lot. So, and she's signed up, but she's going to be finalizing getting the doctor's pack tomorrow.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Good girl. Good
So
girl.
that would be fun to get you on to say hi.
Cliff Mulder helping you on a call the other night too.
Yes. Oh, we were up till like 11 o'clock. So still following up with that guy. So, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you for this beautiful call. And I wanted to share that my grandpa was in the Air Force and I have his wings, but I was busy running around with kids. So I was just listening. But I'm thankful for all the people that served today, of course, and loved hearing your guys' stories. They were beautiful. So thank you.
Very, very, thank you for sharing that. All righty, I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to stop the recording.